Welcome to Online Yin Yoga with Nita. I'm Nita or Mariana. Um, this is a super special event for me. This is Nurture Your Heart, which is a caregiver special Yin Yoga flow. We'll be doing some Yin Yoga postures along with mindful meditation, breath work, and some journaling. I was super excited to combine all of these things that I love into one beautiful practice as my love letter to caregivers, to moms, and to anyone who really takes care of someone else, of another being, a furry baby. Because sometimes we kind of fail to tend to our own hearts when we're caring for someone else. So I want you to take this opportunity to be here in this space and to tend to your heart, to your mind and body as much as you can. Um, a few housekeeping things. So you can have your camera on or off. That's up to you. I do ask you that you stay muted so that we respect people's practice and focus. If you have any questions, you can always post them in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer. And I'm also staying at the end of the practice to answer any questions. If you're watching this recording, because I'm recording this, you can also just email me your questions as well. Props, very important. So we're going to use all the props today. If you have yoga blocks, bring your yoga blocks, or if you have thick books you can stack on top of each other, those are great. If you have bolsters, something like this, or if you don't have a bolster, you can just use a fake blanket or towel and roll it, and use that as a bolster. And the other thing I would suggest is cushions. Any type of cushion that you have laying in your living room, maybe a few would be really helpful. Anything that makes you feel supported and cozy is welcome. I have my tea here. Go get some water as well. And of course, something to write on. So a notebook, journal, pen and paper. The other thing is music. So I just posted it there, but just in case anyone missed it, that's a Spotify playlist that you can play in the background. If you have your own music that you like to play when you practice, that's welcome. And if you like silence, then honor that as well. Lastly, these postures are invitations, okay? So take them as offerings. I'll be doing some modifications and variations along the way, but honor your body. You know your body better than anyone else. So if something doesn't feel right in your body, please, please honor it. You can skip a posture, you can modify it, you can take a different posture. And again, you can ask me if anything doesn't work. I'm here for you. But honestly, you're the expert. So listen to your body. That's the most important thing today. Just listen to what your body is asking for. The postures are going to be around 3 to 5 minutes each, and we'll do some counter poses in between. I know that we have some pregnant mamas here. I'm so excited. What I would say is try not to go super deep and to stay too long on the posture. So you're not going for range of motion here. You're going for mindfulness and relaxation, and I'll give specific pregnant modifications as well. Okay. So with that being said, let's get started. Let's try to find a comfortable seat. If you have a cushion or something, I have this like meditation round cushion that's really helpful, but honestly, anything that can elevate your hips would be lovely. And let's take a moment to arrive here. Okay, so relax your shoulders. You can have your legs crossed or extended, whatever feels supported to you. Let's do some shoulder circles here. Rounding your circles towards the back of your room and then circles towards the front. Maybe of your neck circles, one side. And then some neck circles towards the other side. And then you can close your eyes or soften your gaze, whatever feels safe for you right now. Relax your hands on your lap. And imagine this thin thread that's going from your pelvis, your sit bones, all the way through your spine, your torso, up until the crown of your head and to the sky. So something that's lengthening you, right? And start noticing your breath here. Start noticing the inhales and the exhales. Start noticing your surroundings. Maybe there's some birds singing outside. Maybe you can hear the AC going on, the cars in the street. You can feel the ground beneath you. You can feel the cushion you're sitting on, your yoga mat, and even the clothes you're wearing. Perhaps you can smell the coffee you brewed this morning or this afternoon, the tea you have next to you, maybe your perfume. If you have your eyes closed, maybe you can see with your mind's eye what's around you, your space. Maybe it's light, there's light coming in through the window. And if you have your eyes open or a soft gaze, then just look around, see what's there, gather your space, and notice. Keep breathing. Notice what you can taste. Maybe the toothpaste, or when you brush your teeth, maybe the coffee you're still having or the tea. Maybe nothing at all. So ground into your senses here and notice what's happening right now. And now I invite you to place your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your heart. And pay attention to your breathing, taking a deep inhale as you're filling up your belly. And then your chest rises, your heart lifts up. And then exhale as your belly contracts and your chest lowers. Again, deep inhale. Belly fills up, chest rises, heart lifts. Exhale. Chest lowers, belly contracts. Keep breathing deeply and keep noticing how your breath is traveling throughout your body. Where is it going? What corners of your body is it filling up? Is it nurturing? And don't try to change it or make it deeper or shallower. Just notice. Notice the sensations that may arise, the thoughts that may come. They're going to come. A lot of thoughts may come. You know, I say this if you've been to my class. Let them come. Say hello, thought, hello, emotion, and kindly let them go. You're not trying to hide from them, push them away, bottle them up. You're noticing them, observing, and let them go. Keep breathing into your belly and into your heart. If your hands at any point get tired, you can rest them again in your lap, okay? And now I invite you to imagine this bright green light that's irradiating from your heart, emanating from your heart and shining so, so bright, like a force of nature, like a big ball of energy that's shining light throughout the whole space right now. It's a warm light, it's a bright light, and it extends loving kindness. Now I invite you to imagine or visualize the person, the being, the furry baby, the loved one that you care for. Just picture it in your mind's eye. And imagine that you're extending this loving kindness, this bright green light towards them, as you do every day. And then repeat this mantra within you. You don't have to say it out loud, but you can if you like. It goes, may you be safe. May you be happy. May you be at ease. Again, thinking of your loved one, extending loving kindness to them. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be at ease. One more time. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be at ease. Keep breathing. Keep picturing that bright light that keeps shining from your heart. And now imagine that light is bathing your entire body. So from your heart, it's irradiating from your chest all the way up to shoulders, to your head, and all the way down to your torso, your hips, your legs, your feet, nurturing your body. And now I want you to extend the same loving kindness that we just extended to your loved one, to yourself. And we're going to say the same mantra, but directed to you. Repeating after me. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be at ease. Keep breathing deeply. Again, may I be safe. May I be happy. May I be at ease. One more time. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be at ease. Keep breathing and enjoying this light, enjoying these loving kindness that as much as you share it with your loved one, you're also taking the time today, right now, to extend to yourself. And take it with you throughout the entire practice, within the mat and out of the mat, as you go through your day today. Take a few deep breaths here, feeling that belly, feeling that chest, lifting that heart up, and letting everything go. One more breath here. Exhale through your mouth if you need to. Sit with this. Welcome sensations and emotions and thoughts. And without any rush, taking your own time, we're going to move on to our first pose. So you can open your eyes if you had them closed or if you had a soft gaze. And we're going to move on to child's pose. Okay. Very slowly. There's no rush in any of these postures today. Okay. So take your time to get there. For child's pose, I want you to go into all fours first. So go into your hands and knees, aligning your shoulders with your wrists, your knees with your hips, and then bring your big toes together. Sit on your heels and widen your knees as wide as your yoga mat. Okay. Check in, see if that's comfortable. And now you're going to bring your hands forward and bring your forehead to the earth, to the mat. It could also be to a block. Extending your arms or resting them on the mat. For my prego mamas here, a bolster or a blanket is very useful to create space for the belly. So, and this is also very supportive for anyone else, really. Just bring a bolster and rest your chest on it. Giving space to your belly. Try to bring your hips towards your feet. That's the intention, but your hips don't have to touch it. And we're going to stay here for a few minutes. Breathing, noticing the sensations. Child's pose is always a very supportive pose. It's kind of like a refuge, but it can also bring up a lot of stress. And I just want you to notice that this practice offering it in our hearts. If any emotions come up, any thoughts, any memories, I just want you to know that you're not alone. Today can be a very emotional day, like it's not day. So I just want you to hold yourself in what happens with kindness, compassion, and just kind of be here with it. Give yourself permission to feel. To freedom. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Maddie. She's saying that you might not be able to hear me with the cushion. Thank you so much. It's my headphones. So thank you. I hope you're hearing me better now. You can bring your forehead to the mat or to a block or to a cushion. And then just even give yourself a little bit of a massage here, rolling your head from one side to the other. And the goal with each one of these poses is to find your edge, find your edge of sensation, find that first stopping point where you can feel Oh, thank you. Is that better? Is that better? No? Yes? Okay. I think it was when I was down. Thank you, Kim. I hope you can hear me. Okay. If not, I'm gonna have to take this off. Let me know if it's still muffled, please. I think it's the cushion. So we're trying to find that edge of sensation here, but we're not looking for pain, okay? So if at any point there's pain, burning sensation, sharp pain, we want you to get out of the pose, okay? So we're just looking for tension, maybe a stretch, a compression, but not pain. So be mindful as you're in the pose, as your body's opening, to notice that. Deep breathing. And if you couldn't hear what I was trying to share, um, when I was on the bolster, I was just inviting you to embrace whatever comes up in this practice today, whether that's emotions, memories, thoughts. I know today is a very emotional day for some because it's Mother's Day. Um, but as a caregiver, I know that there's a lot that might come up today. So just hold yourself in that space and be very kind if that happens, okay? Know that you're not alone with those feelings and that that's part of the practice. We're going to take a few more breaths here in child's pose. And within the next few breaths, very slowly, we're going to come up, come back to all fours, bringing your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. And let's do a few cat-cows or undulations of the spine. So you're going to flick your tailbone up to the sky, drop your belly, bring the crown of the head to the sky. This is cow. And then for cat, you're gonna tuck your tailbone, round your spine, and tuck your chin, chin to chest. Breathing as you go from cat to cow. And you can make these undulations your own. You can kind of move your hips to one side or the other. Find those juicy spots here. Maybe do some rolls to one side and to the other side. Kind of rinsing that posture. And now we're going to move into melting heart. So melting heart is kind of similar to child's pose, but the difference is we're going to keep our knees stacked with our hips, okay? So before getting into it, just look at where your knees are and where your hips are and have your knees hip width apart. And then you're going to bring your hands, you're going to walk them forward as you're melting, literally melting your heart towards the mat. Bringing your forehead again towards maybe the mat, maybe a cushion, maybe a bolster. So there's a few options here. I just want you to see it before I give the variations. You can keep your forehead to the mat, or if your neck allows, you can bring your chin to the mat. But be very careful because that can strain your neck, okay? So you have to check in and see if that feels good in your body. And then your hands, you can bring maybe one or two of them to rest your forehead. Or you can use something to support yourself. And this is also for my pregnant mamas. So a bolster might feel very nice here under your chest as you're melting your heart into it and allowing space here for the belly. So find what's supportive for you. You can also have the bolster kind of this way and then melt into it. The most important thing is to keep that alignment of the knees and the hips, okay? So check in and see where your body's at right now and honor that. Keep breathing. Keep melting your heart towards the earth, towards your prop. Notice what your lower back is feeling. Always check in. And remain here in stillness. And these postures again for yin, we're holding them for time, right? We're holding them for a few minutes. And the goal is to reach the deep connective tissues in our bodies. But in order to do that, we have to relax the muscle. We have to support the bone structures of the body. So that's why I'm saying always find a way to support your body, to be held, so that your tissues can really, really get the benefits of the posture. So this is very different from other types of yoga where you were flowing and moving from one posture to the next very quickly. We're sitting with the posture. We're melting and surrendering in the posture. And that can be very, very challenging. It's not easy. But that's part of the practice. So we stay with the posture. We stay in stillness. And then maybe in a few minutes, your body might invite you to open up, to change the posture a bit, or even to pull back. And that's okay. So as always, take that invitation. Honor what your body is asking for. Keep breathing here. Within the next few breaths, very carefully, we're going to get out of the pose. And the safest way to get out, start to press on your hands or your forearms. Okay? and maybe come back to all fours and do a few more wiggles here. Maybe we can even go up and down. We can do some rolls. Or we can even take a child's pose with our legs together and bring in our arms beside our legs. For pregnant mamas, this might be challenging with the belly, so you can take the same child's pose that we took with the bolster, or just stay in your cat cow and your all fours. Just take whatever your body's asking for to rinse the posture right now. Yes. So these postures are targeting the heart, targeting that heart chakra. That's all about love and compassion and self-acceptance. Oof, that's very hard sometimes. Okay, so we're gonna move on to our first journaling prompt. So get cozy, get your notebook, your pen and paper, your tea if you want a sip of it. I'm gonna journal with you, so. And what I do ask for this, I know this might be a little tricky, but believe me, it will be fruitful in the end. Try to keep your pen on paper as you're writing. So try to just keep going. I'm gonna time ourselves, gonna give ourselves a few minutes to write, and I'll tell you when the time's up. But just try to keep going. I know it might feel like you're babbling, but just trust yourself, okay? So here's our first prompt. I hope you can see it on the screen. It says, how are you really doing? And I know I might have some people that speak Spanish here, so ¿cómo te sientes realmente hoy? How are you really, really doing? And I'm gonna start timing ourselves. And let's go. As you're writing, keep breathing, keep paying attention to your breath. Try not to force anything on your writing. Just let whatever comes out, let it come. Try to keep your pen flowing. And the time is up, but if you want to keep writing, I will not stop you. So finish your thought. Are you still hearing me okay? I know there were some issues with the mic. Thank you. Thank you. Just want to make sure that you're all hearing me. So finish your thought and get ready to very slowly on your own time. Start getting back to the mat. And for this next one, you might need all the props. So just start gathering all of them. And when I say all, I don't know what you have, but at least 2 blocks. And I'll show you why in a second, but at least 2 blocks. I'm gonna get them here first. And a bolster or a rolled blanket. So if you're still writing, take your time. I won't stop you, but I will start offering the variations for the next pose. We're gonna do saddle. And saddle has like a million different variations, but I want to offer kind of different levels for you today and just take what your body is excited about. So for saddle, we're gonna go kind of an all fours again, but then I want you to bring your knees together and feet together. Okay. And then I want you to sit on your heels if that feels okay. If this is already kind of not feeling great, you can always bring something, a cushion or something in between your calves and your hamstrings. This is already a perfect place to stay. Then you can start kind of going back. I have short legs, so I can't do this with the cushion, but you can start kind of leaning back. This is a perfect saddle to stay as well. Or if your body invites you to, you can start kind of going back onto forearms or onto a bolster. For my pregnant mamas, I'll give you an option in a second. So just hold on. So you can also come here. So find what's that stopping point for you. Some people go all the way down to their backs. For me today, personally, this feels okay. This is where I want to stay. I could even start right here. So check in with lower back, check in with quads. Your feet could be under your bum, or they can be kind of a little bit outside, kind of bringing your bum towards the center. So test all of that. If you have any sensitivity on your feet, you can also roll your mat, kind of do something like this to protect your feet, or put a blanket under it. Now, that's kind of option A, or a few options for the main saddle. But for supportive saddle, which might be better for some of you, I want you to bring, especially for my pregnant mamas, bring a block and set it up on the tallest side, or a book, a few books. Second block is going to be on the middle size. And then you bring your bolster or your blanket and kind of put it like a diagonal shape. This is kind of like a neat seat for you. You might also do it against the wall or against the couch if you have something close to you. And then we can start again with our knees together, kind of how we did it before, sitting on our heels, checking in with our feet, and then we lean back. And we're like, okay, we're finding, well, this is actually quite nice for me right now. We're finding that saddle. And this height can be higher. You can have more cushions, or you can even, again, find a wall and do it against the wall. I just don't want you to fall, so make sure that your structure is solid here. So for my pregnant mamas, this might feel very supportive. If you're still like, no, Nita, I don't know about this saddle thing, you can do half saddle. You can bring one foot out or even extend it and check in. This was actually very nice when I was pregnant. I would just do one foot out. So pick the variation that suits you. If it's literally just sitting on your heels today, that is perfect. That is fine. So honor where you are right now. And the whole idea of saddle is shining your heart up to the sky. That's the intention. Whether you're sitting on your heels or recline on a bolster or recline on your forearms or even all the way down on the mat. And yes, if at any point you're like, I'm feeling pain in my feet and my knees, get out of it. Shake it off. Come back to it. And keep breathing here. Your arms can be relaxed on your side. Maybe you like to kind of hug your forehead. Keep breathing. If you were only doing one leg for half saddle, that would be a good time to switch it up. So the easiest way to switch it up if you were like this is kind of to lean on one side, bring your leg in, lean towards the other side, bring your leg out, and then come back. Keep breathing here. Check in with your body. Check in with your heart. How did that first journaling prompt feel? How did that feel? Maybe some things came up that you weren't expecting, and that's okay. This is where we get a little curious. We get a little curious with our bodies, with our sensations, and then we also get a little curious with our minds and our hearts. So take this as an exploration, as if you were a little detective. And I know that that's challenging because when we're caregivers, we're devoting ourselves to our loved one so much that sometimes we just don't have the energy or the capacity or the time or honestly the desire to look inward because it may be too painful. It may be too hard. Sometimes we're filled with guilt, with shame, of the things that could have been, of the things we could have done, of the should haves, or of the what ifs. So if all of that's coming up today, see it, observe it, but kindly let it come and go. You're welcome to feel it, but you're also welcome to give yourself kindness and grace. And to hold yourself in this space. On the next breath, if you were in half saddle, you can lean onto that other leg. Wait, my foot is a little stuck. Let's go. Get your legs out. And then you can lie on your back. Or if you were in your reclined, you can lie in your reclined position or in your couch or on your wall and just shake it a little bit. If you were sitting on your heels, just get all of your legs out of the way and then shake them. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your heels. And then you can do a few windshield wipers here as well. So using your legs as if they were windshield wipers in your car, moving from one side to the other, leaning back on your hands, opening your chest up a little bit. Maybe you stay on one side or on the other side. Hmm. And now we're going to come into supported bridge. So for supported bridge, you're also going to need a prop. Could be a block or a bolster. Something that's going to give yourself support under your bridge. So we're going to start lying on your back. Feel yourself grounded here. Maybe wiggle your hips a little bit, wiggle your feet. And then you're gonna bend your knees, both knees, and bring your feet to the mat. And check in your alignment. I want your knees to be parallel, hip width distance apart. And bring your feet as close to your bum as you can. They don't have to touch your bum. It's kind of impossible for me. But just close, okay? We just don't want you to start with your legs too wide or too narrow, just hip width distance. And then from your pelvis, you're gonna lift your hips slowly, and then you're gonna slide a prop under your sacrum. If you have a block, I suggest either the first height or the second, never the third, the highest one, because that might be too wobbly and you can fall, and we don't want that. So you can start at the first one, see how that feels under your sacrum. So what's the sacrum? It's that flat part that's below your spine. We don't want to put any compression on your spine. So try to find that flat part that's kind of above where your bum crack starts, really. And you'll notice that it feels okay. If you're like, oh, this feels weird, it might be too high or too low. And then what do you do with your feet? Your feet can stay there, or if you want more sensation, you can even extend your legs. Your hands can rest on your side or above your head. And check in here. If you want more sensation as well on the lower back, you can raise your block or stack more blocks. For my pregnant mamas, this might feel okay. So just check in with the height of your prop. Or if a block is like, I'm not feeling it, you can always bring a bolster instead. That might be a little bit softer, or a few cushions. And if this is still not your jam, you can do this against the wall, which is basically just put a bolster under your sacrum and bring your legs up a wall. And that might give you a similar mild inversion, which is what we're trying to do here. We're trying to bring our hips higher than our heart. Once you find your version, just stay here, breathing. Breathing in the four corners of your feet. Maybe seeing how your belly fills up, your chest rises with every inhale, and then let it all out with the exhale. And again, if while you're on the pose, your body invites you to go to your next edge of sensation, your next, what we call natural stopping point, where you feel that tension, that compression, you can take it. Maybe you add more height to your blocks. Maybe you extend one leg or both legs. Or you can just stay how you are. Your choice. Remember, these are invitations and options for you, but you are the expert on you. This is your practice. This is not my practice or you or someone else's. It's yours. So I know your mind might be trying to compare, to strive, to change, to judge. So just be with where you are right now. Within the next few breaths, we're going to start getting out of supported bridge. So if your legs were extended, you can bring your feet back to the mat. Be very kind and mindful with your lower back here, okay? So very slowly lift your hips and slide that prop from under you. And then here, I invite you to maybe do some windshield wipers as you're laying on your back, as you're lying on your back, or just maybe bring your knees towards your chest. For my pregnant mamas, just allow some space for your belly to be here and just roll from side to side, massaging your lower back. Maybe you can stay on one side and on the other side. Maybe you want to hold yourself and hug yourself for a little bit. Remembering that loving kindness that we started the practice with, letting it stay with you, letting it bathe you as you move and breathe. And now, very slowly, we're going to go back to a seat or a position of choice to write our second prompt. I know some people like to write while they're lying on their belly. So wherever you like to write, that is perfect. I'm just going to sit on my little cushion, grab a sip of water. Yeah, get cozy. And gonna get ready to share the second prompt with you here. And here it is. What does your heart need? What does your heart need? ¿Qué necesita tu corazón? Now that we've been opening our hearts, now that we've been connecting with the breath, can we listen? Again, I'm timing this, so I'll let you know. Try to keep your pen flowing on paper as much as you can without stopping. And listen. Breathing to it, letting your pen flow on paper. What does your heart need? Not only from others, but what does it need from you? If you run out of things to write, that's okay too. Just sit with it. See what comes up. Keep breathing. You can even doodle, draw. Honestly, this is your canvas. A few more moments here to finish your thoughts. Okay. And our time is up. But again, finish your thought. Finish your thought, finish your flow on paper. Maybe grab a sip of water before we move on to our next postures. So for this, we might need um, a few props, especially bolster or blanket, and especially for my pregnant mamas. So if you have two blankets, you can roll like this, or in my case, I have a bolster and a blanket, so that's what I'm gonna bring here. Just bring them close to you. And we're gonna start coming to the mat and lying on our bellies, okay? We're gonna go into Sphinx. You might have done this with me in a few classes. And I know pregnant mamas can't really be on their bellies, so just wait for me. I'll give you a modification in a second. So start on your bellies and maybe move your head from side to side so you can massage your forehead a little bit. Maybe moving your heels from side to side, just kind of getting grounded again. And then we're going to bring our hands to the mat. Lift yourself up and then position your elbows a little bit forward than your shoulders. So walk your hands forward a little bit. So we don't want to stack it. We want to have them a little bit forward. Okay? Your palms are grounded on your mat. Your neck is relaxed. Your shoulders are down, separated from your ears. Your chin might be tucked a little bit. And we check in with the sensation on the lower back. If this is too much, you can always walk your hands forward and reduce the sensation on the lower back. So the placement of the hands is up to you here. So option one for support, you can bring a bolster or cushion under your chest. And that might feel very supported here. Option two for my mamas. This might be a little tricky, but once you get it, it'll be so, so yummy. So you're gonna need two bolsters here. One that's gonna go under your elbows, and another one that's gonna go kind of below your belly, basically. I'm gonna switch this up because this one is a little thicker. And then you're gonna lie on it, on both of them, letting your belly kind of have this space here. So it might be tricky to get the positioning, but once you do, oh yeah, this feels very lovely, even without the belly. You're using the first bolster just to support your arms, your elbows, and then this bolster supports your hips. And then again, same here. You're checking in. If you need to bring this forward to reduce the sensation on the lower back, you can do that. And then checking in with shoulders, relaxing neck. If you want to use something to rest your head on, you can always bring a block or something and rest your head here. Or you even use your hands to rest. So find that supported position for you and stay here. And now, if you want to stay in Sphinx, you can, but I want to give an option for another pose while we're here. That's called seal pose. So for seal, basically what we're doing is we're turning our hands outward, kind of towards the edge of our yoga mat. And then we're pressing on our hands to lift our heart. And then we're walking our hands towards us, trying to find that edge of sensation here. This might increase the sensation on your lower back, so tread lightly. Try it out, see how it feels. If it's too much, stay in Sphinx. We're only doing this for a few minutes. Pressing your hands on the mat, pressing the tops of your feet on your mat, and just breathing. Bring your shoulders down. Lift your heart. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. Relax your jaw. Relax the space between your eyes. Breathe. Within the next few breaths, if you are on seal pose, come back to Sphinx. If you are in Sphinx, we'll meet you there and come together to lie on your belly. If you're a pregnant mama and you're wearing 2 bolsters, remove your bolsters and you can lie on a fetal position instead. We can do some windshield wipers if we're in our bellies. We can massage our forehead. And then we can come up to all fours and do a few more cat-cows here, or undulations of the spine. And now we're going to go into caterpillar. So for caterpillar, you might need a blanket or a bolster. So bring it close to you. And it might be useful to sit on a cushion or something to bring your hips up a little bit and tilt your pelvis forward. So if you have something you can sit on, there you go. There we go. And so we'll start caterpillar with our legs straight in front of us, sitting on something, whether that's a cushion or a thin block. And then think of your pelvis, right? Instead of being here, kind of holding a bowl of soup, we want to be tall here. So we want to tilt the pelvis forward a little bit. So we're sitting tall, crown of the head towards the sky. With your legs extended, let's shake them a bit. And then bend your knees and bring your feet towards the earth. If you're a pregnant mama, just make sure you have enough space here for your belly. And then hold yourself a little bit. This might feel quite nice on the upper back, on the shoulders. And then slowly, we're going to start sliding our feet forward. You can keep holding, like hugging your legs or not. And just find that first natural stopping point. For me, it's right here. Right here, I can feel it on my hamstrings. I can feel it even on my glutes. You can keep a soft bend on your knees, or you can even bring a bolster or something under them. Your hands can be rested besides your legs, or they can even be reaching to your heels, soles of the feet, wherever they might land. And the whole idea here is to round the spine and melt. For my pregnant mamas, I know that you might need some space, so you can widen your legs a little bit and do the same motion of bringing yourself forward. Just be very mindful of how much you're folding, right? To allow space for your belly. And then let your head can kind of either rest on a block or something that you put on top of your legs, or it can just hang there if it feels nice. So check in with the neck here, okay? And keep breathing. Mhm. Mhm. Surrendering in the pose, relaxing the shoulders, the neck, relaxing your cheeks, your face, your forehead. Mm. And see if your body invites you to go to that next stopping point. You can take that invitation. Remember, you're a little detective of your own body, so see where the sensation is. Enjoying that stillness. And remember that if at any point you feel pain, burning sensation, even numbing, tingling, that's your indication to get out of the pose. This is your little cocoon for your heart, a caterpillar that will become a butterfly. How is your heart feeling at this moment with this exploration, with this mindful movement? With this time that you're gifting yourself. Within the next few breaths, we're gonna get out of caterpillar. So walk your hands back slowly, very mindfully. If you had a prop or something under your knees, slide it out. And then you can either do some windshield wipers here. You can stay in one side and maybe do a little twist. Go to the other side, do a little twist. Shake it off, wiggle the legs. And then we'll get ready for another prompt. Get your seat ready, your notebook ready. Got it. Okay. So pen and paper, we're going to go with this next prompt. And this one, so we talked about what does your heart need, right? So this one's a little tricky because we think about the things that we need, and sometimes we don't think about the things that we need to let go of. So, what do you need to let go of? ¿Qué necesitas soltar? And I'm going to time ourselves here. Remember to keep your pen flowing here. And breathe through it. Whether it's a list of things, whether it's one big thing. A few more moments here. And time is up. But again, finish your thought. Give yourself time. Stopping the share. All right. And we're gonna start to get ready to close the practice very slowly. And this is, I always say this, if there's one posture that I want you to take from today, is the next one. I mean, you can take them all with you, but we're gonna go into recline twists. And the recline twists are beautiful and lovely for when you wake up or before you go to bed, for midday, for any time. Um, you might need, maybe not, but bring something, maybe like a roll blanket or a bolster close to you, just in case you need some support. And we're going to start this twist a little different than what I usually do. We're going to start it on a fetal position, which is lovely for our pregnant mamas here. And lie on your left side, okay? So as if you were a little baby, you can rest your head on your left arm, bringing your knees up. And then eventually, I want you to extend this left arm and bring your right arm on top of it, as if you were clapping in front of your face. Okay? Now, next, I want you to keep your hips rooted and your knees rooted to the ground, as if they were glued to your mat. And then I want you to open up your right arm up to the sky and let gravity kind of take it towards the floor or close to the floor. If you're like, it's not reaching the floor, Nita, that's fine. That's where you can bring a little prop, a little blanket or something to rest that arm, that shoulder. Your gaze can be towards the sky, or if you want more sensation, it can be towards that right arm. And feel that twist, right? Feel that twist in your side body, in your back. If my pregnant mamas are not feeling okay lying on the floor, you can always come back to seated and just cross your legs and do a seated twist. It's a beautiful place to be as well. All we're looking for is a twist of the spine, okay? But you know your body, so if this feels okay for you, for your baby, then take it. Oh, someone is trying to get in again. Breathing here, taking in all of the postures that we've done today, all of that loving kindness and that green energy that we manifested at the beginning of the practice and that we've taken with us along the way. And embracing all of those things that came up in your journaling. Maybe they were sweet things, maybe they were hard things. Maybe they were bittersweet. That's okay. Meet them with grace and with kindness. Because that's who you are in this moment. That's where you are in this moment. And although it may be challenging, we're choosing to meet it with acceptance and with compassion. Breathe in here. And slowly, we're going to come back to center, which in this case is kind of back to that fetal position. Hug yourself here. And then to do the twist to the other side, roll onto your back. And then go into a fetal position. Bring your knees to chest. Fetal position towards your right. I'm going to do it facing the camera so you can see me. Extend your right arm in front of you. And then bring your left arm extended and meet both palms together. And then slowly, you're going to bring your left arm up towards the sky, keeping your knees and your hips rooted, and then let gravity bring it down towards the left side of the room. Your gaze can be up towards the sky or towards that left arm. Breathe here. Now, very slowly, we're going to go back to our fetal position. Breathing here. And now we're going to move on to Shavasana. For my pregnant mamas, Shavasana is a beautiful place to be here on your fetal position, really. You can just stay here. Honestly, anyone can take it this way. Maybe with something between your legs. I would recommend, if you're pregnant, to do it and on your left side. That might feel a little bit better, but check it out. And then for anyone else who wants to take Shavasana lying on your back, you can join me. Get cozy. If you have a sweater, socks, a blanket, maybe a cushion that you want to put under your head, get super, super cozy and comfy here. And lie on your back, taking all of the space. If you want to do Starship Shavasana, that's welcome. So you can have your arms to the side or even up above your head, your legs wide. Your eyes can be soft or closed. And then just breathe here. If you're in your fetal position, same thing. Breathing there with your eyes closed or soft gaze. And take it all in. Everything that we've done today, the mindful movement, the journaling, the sensations, the emotions, the thoughts that arise, that continue to arise. Take it all in. Keep picturing that green light that's bathing you from the top of your head down into your face, your neck, your shoulders, your chest, your arms, your hands, your fingers, all the way down to your torso, your hips, your legs, your knees, your calves, your shins, your heels, soles of your feet, your toes, from your big toe all the way down to your pinky toe. You are embraced by this light, by this loving kindness. The same loving kindness that you extend to other people, to other beings. You are here extending that to yourself. Breathing, holding your heart. And I'm going to read you something to close the practice. This is by Thich Nhat Hanh. He's mindfulness, a Buddhist monk that has so much wisdom about mindfulness and meditation and being present with what is. It goes like this. If you pour a handful of salt into a cup of water, the water becomes undrinkable. But if you pour the salt into a river, people can continue to draw the water to cook, wash, and drink. The river is immense, and it has the capacity to receive, embrace, and transform. If our hearts are big, we can be like the river. When our hearts are small, our understanding and compassion are limited, and we suffer. We can't accept or tolerate others and their shortcomings, and we demand that they change. But when our hearts expand, the same things don't make us suffer anymore. We have a lot of understanding and compassion and can embrace others as well as ourselves. We accept others as they are. We accept ourselves as we are. And we all have a chance to transform. So the big question is, how do we help our hearts to grow? The big question is, how do we help our hearts to grow? Take a few more deep breaths here. And then in your own time, whenever you're ready, you can come meet me at a comfortable seat to close the practice. If you want to stay in Shavasana or in your fetal position, please do. If you're coming along, I'll meet you here on a seated position. Relaxing your shoulders down and bringing your hands to heart center. Soft gaze or close your eyes. Take a deep inhale through your nose and out through your mouth. Thank yourself for giving yourself the time to come here, to tend to your heart as much as you tend to others. I hope you take that loving kindness, that green light with you today, throughout your day, and throughout the rest of your week, month, year. And whenever you feel like you don't have it, just remember that you have it within you. You just got to tap into it. Take another deep breath, inhaling through your nose. Big exhale through your mouth. Bowing towards you in your practice. Namaste.